Hi, I'm Bladen.
I'm Kylie.
I'm Cameron.
I'm Olivia.
I'm Rocky.
I'm Riley.
We're all in 8th grade.
What changes have you seen since your 6th grade year under Miss Ganaris' leadership?
I seen the paws, the points, awards lately. Has like increases in awards and stuff.
I feel like we bonded a lot more.
Yes.
More incentives creates more like space for us to bond together.
Yeah.
So like we have more people to like come to if we have problems.
I also think it's like less negative. Like there's a less negative climate under her like guidance.
Yeah.
More positive things.
Agreed.
Hi, my name is Miss Ganaris, and I'm the principal at Sparrows Point Middle School. I've been the principal at Sparrows Point Middle School for 3 years. And 3 years ago when I started, I had come out of elementary school where I was the principal for 10 years. And I was really excited to move on to middle school and learn what goes on in the secondary world, and also get to know kids in the secondary world and see how I could create pathways for them to have a positive future. And when I came here, the first thing I did was look at our school's data, and particularly in the areas of attendance, suspension, and looking at our school climate data, which is the stakeholder satisfaction survey. And it was very telling. I noticed that we did have higher suspension rates than really was necessary in a school like this. When I looked at the suspension rates, what I noticed is that kids were most likely being sent out for disruption or disrespect, disruptive behavior. It wasn't a school where there was a lot of fighting, but it seemed to be a lot of conflict. And so when I looked at the stakeholder satisfaction survey and I saw how our students responded, there did seem to be some discrepancy on how kids saw themselves and their peers at being able to handle conflict. There was a perception of bullying in the school. Most of the kids said, though, that they did see themselves as having good relationships, or at least a good relationship with an adult in the building. And so that was good news, because we know that in order for kids to excel in school, they need to have good relationships. So that was definitely, when I came in, a place that I knew I could start, because we had already had a good foundation for that.
Do you feel like you have at least one adult in the building that you feel like you can go to?
Yes. Like more than just one.
Oh, like Miss Chadwick and Miss Gordon. Like you can go talk to them whenever.
Yeah, I agree. I like going to Miss Chadwick because she always just listens to me like so much, and I also love going to Miss Nestor. Miss Nestor's like so fun to be around, and she definitely listens and she gives her feedback.
I also like Miss Chadwick and Miss Gordon, but I like Miss Strecco too, because she is one of my teachers, and I feel like she really actually like cares about what we have to say.
I trust Miss Duluth the best. She's always shows support for me, and I also trust Miss Chadwick. They both show a lot of support for me.
A cup of coffee in the shoulder. Let's go. Like 35.
Thanks for joining us, Ben and Louie. Ben, is Mr. Sevchek a teacher that you would like to come to school and see?
Yeah, he's really nice and caring, and he's just someone easy to talk to.
How do you feel about working with Sevchek in advisory?
I feel like he's a really good teacher to work with. He teaches you a lot of things, and he's fun to play with, like in basketball and sports in general.
Yeah, I agree. He's also somebody you could talk to if you're going through something, or he just understands where you're coming from with some stuff, or a lot of stuff.
Does his personality help with that as well?
Yes.
The way he is?
Yeah, he's a really nice person and caring.
Why do you go to him? What is it about him? Louie, what's advisory like with Sevchek?
Advisory with Mr. Sevchek is fun because you get to play sports and stuff. You know, he's a cool person to chill out with and hang with, and he knows how to shoot a basketball a couple times. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
What about Mr. Sevchek makes you comfortable or to be around him?
He's just really fun, and like he's a nice person, and like he's not really judgmental at all. So you can just kind of tell him whatever, be yourself around him, and he'll accept you.
Does a lot of nice gestures too. He helps you out when you ask for help. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's a good person in general. Like,
All right, thank you. Why do you choose to do advisory?
Why do I choose to do advisory? I just feel like, as being older now, I was a kid once, and I see the kids that I have in my advisory group are kids who kind of remind me of who I was when I was their age. I mean, I'm from the area, I'm from the school. I grew up in the same neighborhood as a lot of these kids, and they're great kids. I mean, they really are good kids, and I feel like having that advisory group helps me make them realize that, and it's just a good time to get together some good guys to make them realize the potential they do have as kids in the school.
How do you think advisory helps them as kids?
I think it helps them like reflect. It's a lot of kids who have sometimes do have difficulty within the school building, so it just gives them a minute to sit back and realize what they're doing good, the mistakes they're making, and how they can grow from it. We're not here judging anybody. It's kind of guys who are kind of the same, and we have a lady in there now. It's not just all guys, but it's all kids who sort of have some kind of influence in the school, and we're trying to make them realize it can be a good influence instead of a negative influence around here.
What do you do as their advisor teacher to help them specifically?
What do I do? I mean, we just have conversations. We talk about like either things that are happening in the school, things they've done in the school, current events, I guess, that are going on, and how we all relate to that. And then, I mean, what they really want to get down here, at the end of the advisory group, we shoot some baskets. So it's a good way for them to blow some steam at the end and just get their minds right for the day, get their minds right for the week.
How often do you meet? Like when?
We meet every other Monday. So every other Monday we come down here, and that's when we have our meetings. Discuss. I mean, like I said, it's just pretty much a general discussion. I'm trying my best to make them realize that, yeah, we still making mistakes, but it's normal for an 8th grade, 7th grade kid to make mistakes, but they got to realize they're making mistakes, and make them realize the good that they do have. That's my whole goal with this, is making them realize that the most important thing they need to really care about is doing well for themselves. Not trying to impress their friends, not trying to impress me as a teacher, but understanding if they do what's right for them, then they'll be all right in the future.
Thank you.
So when I came in, being an elementary principal, you have all these lessons throughout the years on your guidance counselor comes in the classroom and they teach you things about social skills and about gossip and about inclusivity. And when you get to middle school, we just expected students to have already mastered those things and then apply them. And what was clear was that we had not yet mastered those things, especially in an age range, which we all know at 11, 12, and 13 they can be very difficult years because we're changing in many different ways. So what we did, working with my fantastic team, Miss Chadwick, Miss Gordon, Miss Sutton, Miss Owens, we really looked at what can we create here so that we can continue to provide our students with supports who are having difficulty mastering these skills and applying them, yet also what can we do for all students so that they continue to learn and grow and reinforce skills with just how do we properly and positively interact with one another. So what we did is we designed an advisory program in which students are able to have an advisory class with their homeroom teachers every other week. And Miss Gordon and Miss Chadwick really look at what are some hot topics that can be addressed through those advisory classes. So they push out lessons to the teachers. And so we've also done in our homeroom classes, started to work on circles, which, as I said before, relationships is something that our kids feel like they have with our teachers. And so that just enhances that modeling in terms of the teacher modeling a good relationship, but then students having to interact in those circles and share some things about themselves that help them connect with other students.
What do you think
about the circle in Mr. Wise's classroom?
I think the circle's okay. We usually get along quite well. We usually joke around and stuff. It's usually fun time. We don't really do much, but we love it. It's just fun. We just hang out, talk, and then at the end we just start and get back to work.
Okay, what are some of the questions that Mr. Myers does?
He usually does questions about what you did over the weekend, or like how does this make you feel, and what does this do? Like the question he just asked, like who makes you laugh. He usually does questions like that more often, like who does this or how does this happen or why.
How is Mr. Wise's advisory?
Mr. Wise's advisory is really fun. Like we hang out, we get our work done. But sometimes it's very serious, and sometimes we can goof off a little bit. We usually get on track really quickly. And if we got all our work done, we get like 3 minutes to do stuff, and then we get back to work.
Does Mr. Myers do the circles every day?
Yes, he does them every day. We usually just ask different questions every day, but sometimes we get a little off task, but we usually just get back to class and we get our work done in the circle, just ask the questions.
Why do you think he does it, like the circles?
I think he does the circles to learn about a sport and see what type of things we like, so he can teach us things that we're more interested in next time, so they can be more interactive in class.
Alrighty, so good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Mr. Wise.
So our morning meeting for today, our question is going to be about laughter. Alright, so laughter is free medicine. Alright, so I want you to think about one thing, one person that always makes you laugh. Okay? So for me, my answer is, I think all of you guys. That's why I love teaching middle school. You guys say the craziest things. Which direction would we like to go in? Would you go right? Okay. Okay, what's one thing that makes you laugh, Courtney?
Mr. Wise, because my friends and my teachers. Probably Miss Wade.
Judah and Rochester.
Myself makes me laugh.
Oh, good.
Everybody I know always has a way of making me laugh.
My brother. Oh, my friends.
It's way to Miss Edward because they do like TikTok dances and they make TikToks for us.
My friends in my dorm.
Taylor because she's always there for me.
My friends in this way.
My friends in this way. Jacob's odd comments to everything.
Really stupid things because my sense of humor is whack.
My friend Brady.
Cats. How would you describe the environment of Sparrows Point Middle?
Relaxed.
Yeah.
It's a safer
Positive.
climate than it was
Yeah,
before.
thank
When we were in 6th grade, it was a very tense climate.
And over the years, it's just gotten so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like things have softened down a little bit.
How about you, Riley?
I don't know. Like, it's easier to be, like, in friend groups. Like, I
Like, it's
felt like
easier to
people
be
always,
yourself.
like, being controlled,
Yes.
like, in 6th grade. I'm like, no, it's not.
Ways are you influenced to do better in Sparrows Point Middle?
And teachers.
Teachers.
They all have such a positive attitude that it kind of reflects onto us. So I feel like with their achievements that they've made, it kind of makes me want to do more of my life.
And and teachers who aren't even my teacher, just they inspire me so much to actually do my work and not screw around. Like, who was it? Miss Stimulus. She's always trying to get me to do my best, and she's not even my teacher.
Yeah, she's always. I feel like all the teachers are really positive.
They always
actually
strive to make us do our best.
Right.
Teachers encourage us to do better, be bolder, be smarter.
And not only
adults.
teachers too, even Miss Ramirez, she wants the best for the kids in the school, and it shows.
Also, our friends too. I feel like
if you have good friends, like they inspire you to do like better than you think you can. Like they help you out and like give you that extra push that you need.
We'll cut him out.
Because it shows. So, what is PBIS?
PBIS is our positive behavior intervention and systems that is in place for our kids to promote the positive things that kids are doing in the classroom, in the hallways, in the building, so that we can deter students from acting out, with the hope that by reinforcing these positive behaviors we'll see more of those.
Why do you do PBIS?
I support PBIS because I believe we have so many kids on a daily basis that aren't getting recognized for the amazing things that they do, and we need to see that. These kids that are constantly being pushed to the side because they do what's right on a daily basis, they need to be recognized. You need to recognize those people that are seeing great things and they're doing it on a daily basis, and we want to support that and promote that even more.
How does PBIS work?
PBIS works in the sense that if you do what you're supposed to be, teachers are going to recognize you, the counselors are going to recognize you, admin's going to recognize you, other students can recognize you. We have our incentives in place for our pointers of the month. We have our faculty pointer of the month that the kids get to vote on and recognize. We have paws that the kids can get in their classes just for turning in a homework assignment or coming to class on time, doing the right thing. So recognizing individuals on a regular basis for doing the right thing.
And finally, when does PBIS count?
PBIS counts all the time. You have the opportunity to always get awards. We have our lunchtime raffles where kids can be putting their paws that they get on a daily basis, and you can win awards from the lunchtime raffles. This month for March, we have our brown baggie event where our teachers have volunteered time, gift cards, movies, anything, and the kids are going to have brown bags that they can put them in like a raffle, and the more tickets you put in, the more chances you have to win. We had our beginning of the year, kids could earn paws, and they had to pay 25 paws for our volleyball staff event. That was a big hit, had a lot of cheering going on, almost broke my thumb. It was great though. But we keep these monthly incentives in place. We have the May Day Carnival coming up, and the kids are really going to like that. I know for a fact that I will probably be in the dunk tank again. And we will have some teachers getting a pie to the face, and a lot of fun and events that just kind of support the spirit of our PBIS program and make it a little more fun, make us have this strong climate of happiness and wanting to be here. See a lot of people working on their assessment. When you're done with the assessment, you can put it away. And you need to take out your writer's craft setting. And you have today's writer's craft characters. Congratulations, you voted. Oh my God.
Now you can do your planning.
Hi, my name's Tyler, and I'm February's Porter of the Month for Sparrows Point Middle School.
So as Ms. Stack said, paws are a big part of PBIS. What are paws?
Paws are basically something that you can earn, so you can use them towards incentives, and you earn them by being nice, participating in like academic things, stuff like that.
Why do you want to get paws?
You want to get paws so you can go places like field trips that you can use them for, or like the paper bag incentives,
or like May Day and just fun stuff like that.
Thanks.
When can you use paws?
You can use your paws all the time, to be honest, but you can mostly use them for like incentives that happen like every month.
And finally, how do you use your paws?
Like for the May Day, you can like buy stuff, or like you can like use your paws to like play games, or for like the brown paper bag, you can like put your paws in a paper bag, and then you can get raffled to pick and stuff.
Who are my voters? Voters! Goldsboro County SMOB, you need permission. You're logged in that way, so go in through here, where you're not logged in Google already. Voters, voters! Baltimore County SMOB and Baltimore County. Make your voice heard.
What is your favorite thing that Sparrows Point's offered you to do?
I like the incentives because it like gives us like a break from all like the work that we're doing, and like I'm glad Ms. Ganaris does that for us because it's like a nice like relaxing like break time, you know?
Yeah, like it shows us that like she really cares because she'll do it on like a Friday and it'll like influence us so much over the weekend that we just like had so much fun with our friends and like got a break from school.
Especially like math class right before winter break is like you do all this work right before, and then you just get like the ease into winter break, so you're not like all stressed and then you have to like remember that stress throughout winter break. It's like a nice relaxer, like rocking.
Yeah, after school programs.
Yeah. Like the clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
And like even if it's not like a sports team, they have like book clubs and stuff like that you can just go to if you need somewhere to be after school.
And the clubs are very influential.
What's your favorite thing, like after school clubs they offer throughout the year?
Help.
Mine personally is STEM club because my friends are on it and I can actually be myself in STEM club. And have fun with my friends.
I like cross country because I like to be athletic.
And the coaches are really like influential in cross country too, because they always like try to get us to our hardest, even though sometimes we have to walk sometimes. They still say that it's okay,
right,
and that you can't always be running like that.
In school, we have kids who, have a need, and we might have some kids who are having difficulty staying in the classroom or that are struggling with anxiety. It's the pain is real in middle school. The kids have to suddenly get good grades and show up to the next class on time, and they have responsibilities at home, and they have sports that they go to. Some of them have little brothers and sisters they're looking after. So we do have kids that, sometimes they come in and they're feeling anxious, or they're feeling tired, or in some cases they're feeling hungry, or, they've had a conflict at home and that's carried on into the school day. So we've really looked at our kids in a more targeted fashion so that we can say, you know what, we're going to start a student group for students who do have anxiety. We're going to start a student group who may need some supports in how they are handling conflict, and then we're going to teach them some social skills around that. So we've been able to be very inclusive, proactive in making sure that our kids have those skills and characteristics so that they can be productive members of our school family. And I do believe that we have come a long way, and I'm really proud of our students, and I'm proud of our teachers for being good role models.
What are your names? My name is Shanae Dulick. I'm the school social worker.
My name is Lamar King. I'm the SEL teacher.
And what is your mentor group called? Boys to Men. When do you meet? We meet 2 times a month.
Why do you meet?
We meet because I felt there was a need for a male mentoring program. I am clearly a female, so I asked a male counterpart to come in and assist with working with students to help them with just navigating being a male, navigating life, talking about their future, careers, and then we partner with Morgan State University to work with them, and they mentor the students and work with them. They connect with them via social medias, via contact information, and they talk to them. They work with them on different things to ultimately increase their self-esteem, increase their educational views.
Well, when she asked me to be involved in it, it was a no-brainer for me. I grew up just like some of these kids. I had to go through many obstacles in my life, and it's a way for me to give back to them, to guide them, and show them what it takes to put in. Once you put in the work, good things happen to you. So, and I love the fact that they get the opportunity to work with Morgan State because there's guys, young men like themselves. Hopefully one day they'll grow up and they go off to college and do great things, and try to build a bond. So and teach the kids life skills, and they'll be successful in life. And it's just had a lot of fun doing it, and looking forward to continuing doing it.
What inspired you to make this club?
What inspired me was seeing that there isn't a club, there isn't a group that is directed towards students, well, male students in particular. And unfortunately, our data shows that students of color do not have a strong presence here, as well as our staff. The diversity is limited. So I wanted to provide the students of color with the opportunity to have male influences outside of school to come in and influence them.
Yeah, like I said before, I come from a tough background, and it's a way for me to, like Ms. Dulick said, African American is we're not strong here in this building, so it's a way for me to connect with those African American students. I've been successful in my life, so it's a way for me to give back to them and help guide them in the right direction. And hopefully they'll take some of the tools that me and Ms. Dulick presented to them and show them, and they'll be able to use that in their life. So one day when they get older, they can come back and say, well, Ms. Dulick and Mr. King helped me, reach my goals. And that's the ultimate, that's what we're here for.
Goal.
All right, what are your names and what grade are you in?
My name is Andre Andrades. I'm 13 years old in 7th grade.
My name is Devel Man. I'm 14 years old. I'm in the 8th grade.
My name is Christian. I'm 14 years old. I'm in the 8th grade.
Why did you join this group?
I joined this group personally because I play sports, and I realized, like last year, that everybody's not going to always make it to the dream, like sport. Like I want to be in the NFL, but there's like only 1% makes it. So I want to have a plan to fall back on in case I don't.
And I joined the group simply kind of like the same thing, but like with basketball, like I knew that like in sports, sometimes you might not always make it. Like I might get an injury on the way, so I'm going to have a backup plan. So that's one of the reasons I joined.
I joined the group personally because I also do play football, but I realized that football was a way for me to get my anger out. And I realized once football was over, I had no release of getting rid of my anger, and I didn't want to have as much anger. So with this group, they're teaching me, they taught us how to control and react in certain situations a lot better than physically.
How do your mentors help you be successful?
Mine tell me to be successful because he tells us that even though he's a lot older than us, we all go through the same problems. We're all the same people, and it's always good to talk to somebody about those problems to relate.
My mentor, it's kind of like he kind of tells me stuff like, he's kind of trying to keep our heads, kind of keep my head on track. So kind of like the same thing Andre kind of said.
Well, I have multiple mentors, Ms. Dulick and Mr. King as two of them, Ms. Chadwick as well. But I also have, from Morgan State, they teach us a lot about keeping focus, and sports is a great thing to be involved in, but also schooling is going to come first. Academic wise, you don't make it far if you don't have school. So it's better just to get through it and push through than try to fight your way because you want to be the hothead.
Your goals for the future.
My goals for the future is to have a 4.0 GPA, make it to a private school, and hopefully go all the way to football.
My goals is to have a really good GPA, like 4.0, go to a really good high school, and go to a really good college, and make it to the NBA.
My goal is not only for sports and school, but in life after that. I want to be successful and have some background that people don't say, oh, he's from there, he's not good. I want to be able to say, I did this, and this. I can do this. I want to be able to achieve a lot more than a lot of my family has.
Okay.
What are your names?
So my name is Officer Colton. I'm the school resource officer here at Sparrows Point Middle School.
My name is Kieran Hagee. I'm in 7th grade and I'm 12 years old.
What is your mentor group called?
So the mentor group is called Brothers to the Point.
When do you meet?
So we try to meet a couple, every once a month we try. Sometimes with scheduling might be a little less, but we try to at least get together at least once a month.
Tell us about the group.
So Brothers to the Point, it's kind of it's a great program, good mentoring program. We try to target kids that might be a little shy, to get them out of their comfort zones, and we really try to kind of bridge that gap between us and the students to kind of form a positive, relationship, mentorship. We do many different things involving police or some arts and crafts type stuff.
Tell us some activities that you've done.
Some activities that we've done, we've painted pumpkins before and different designs and stuff.
So we call that the kid-friendly sip and paint.
Yeah, then we also had a police officer breakfast where some of Officer Colton's friends came in and talked to us. And we kind of had this would you rather type thing as well. We've also had some programmers come in and teach us how they program games, how they animate characters and do difficulty settings like that.
And why did you choose to be in this group?
I chose to be in this group because I'm like he said, I'm shy, and it was a chance to get to know other people.
So, what are your names?
My name is Miss Chadwick. I am the school counselor for 6th grade and 8th grade this year, and my counterpart is Mrs. Smith, and I'm the IEP chair and the special education department chair here at Sparrows Point. And we co-run Pointers for Change, and so the idea for Pointers for Change came about as an idea to give student voice. So along the year, students get asked at various points in time to fill out surveys about their perceptions of the school, the building, and a lot of time there are the adults making a decision. So we decided that we wanted to gather some leaders in our building across the board to kind of get student voice, student input. So a lot of the voices that come from Pointers for Change gives us input on advisory topics, issues in our schools, and how we can support and lend itself to a student voice to make change.
And when do you meet?
We meet once a month, and right now we're planning an event that we can try to kind of celebrate diversity, and so the team is kind of helping us co-plan this event to kind of highlight all the various backgrounds we have in this building.
So what inspires you guys to be educators?
So I tell you, what inspires me to be an educator is actually just experiencing what we're experiencing right now, and that is being able to share some of the good things that we're doing at this school, as well as hearing from some of the leaders within the school. But I think one of the most important jobs that you can have is helping young people not only become their best academically, but become their best with character and who they are. And so I take my job very seriously, and I love being with you guys each and every day.
And I believe in relationships. That's the number one reason I became a counselor. I was supported by a lot of people along the way, and my school counselor inspired me to be a counselor. So that's why I get up every morning, I come here and I give 100, because I want people to find that connection with me and other adults in the building. It's very important that you guys connect with somebody in this building, whether it be myself, another adult in this building, so that they can have an impact, so that you can go on and be great people in the world.
Alright, what are your names?
I'm Katie Lynn, and I'm a student for Sparrows Point Middle School.
I'm Alana Zornak, and I'm an 8th grader at Sparrows Point Middle School. What is your group called? Pointers for Change?
Yeah, our group's called Pointers for Change.
When do you meet? We meet once a month. Why do you meet?
We meet to discuss issues of our school and how to improve it. So if one of our issues are racism, we would do something to improve, like to fix that problem.
Why did you two join the club?
We were picked into the club because we demonstrate leadership, and we demonstrate as a model of our school, so then other people can follow us and become better and become like a really good student.
We're trying to improve diversity by like making a table at lunch so that all races can sit at it, and like not normal friends, they can like come together and unite for a day, and hopefully they'll improve like later on.
Yeah, and there's types of activities like game boards or like fun things. Yeah, so they can like talk to each other and try to improve like how they interact with each other with different races. Our goal is to take the problems of our school and make it better or improve like is like kind of failing in our school, like how we interact with each other. A lot of people, they argue a lot, but they don't think ahead of like if they're gonna like fight, because they always do that. So we want to try to improve it and let them talk it out first.
What is the Pointer Sisters?
So Pointer Sister is a mentoring program in collaboration with Sparrows Point High School. So the program was designed with myself and our school social worker for the high school, Miss Courtney Blair, which we paired 10th grade girls in the high school with 7th grade middle school girls. And the program was designed so that the high school girls can help the middle school girls transition to high school. So the thought was that they would be with each other for 2 years, and by the time the middle school girls made it to high school, they would have a connection in high school and kind of have a big sister.
Why was it created?
So it was created so that we could kind of promote positivity amongst females, girl power, empowerment, leadership in women. And so Miss Blair and I had that vision of just kind of uplifting our girls.
When was it created?
So right now we are in our 6th year, and I am proud to say that the first batch of Pointer Sisters are now 11th graders, and our next year will be the first year that we'll graduate our first class from high school.
How did you get the organization started?
So the organization really came from a vision. I'm a graduate of an all-girls school myself, and I know how important that is to kind of have a role model and a leadership and a female, to kind of let you know that you can do just as great as men in the world, and we can go on to do great things. So that was the vision for the program.
What inspired you to be a mentor?
So again, I kind of love relationships. I had a counselor who was really great, and then I also had a mentor in college who was a strong female who kind of pushed me to go out and get an advanced degree. So I kind of want the same for the girls here at Sparrows Point Middle and High.
My favorite part is to talk to my mentor if I'm having difficulties or if I'm struggling with academic problems, to just get advice and move on.
And to like get to know them and how like their life is and how like what's going on with them instead of us too.
To be able to like to connect with them, because like we have like similarities of like what we went through in middle school and what they went through in middle school. So it's good to hear what they went through.
I'm part of those Point Sisters because I like helping people, so when I go into high school, it's kind of just, I want to help people academically and mentally.
The activities that we do are we make paintings and goal settings, and we bond with each other.
Also we do empowerment activities so that you can see like what inspires us the most.
Just not like come.
We also do, well, we have a photo shoot coming up, and we make quotes with woman empowerment quotes.
I have visions of these ladies. Eventually they were chosen because they are leaders in our building as well. And my hope is that if they continue on in Sparrows Point High School, that they will be a role model and a mentor for a middle school girl coming up once they are in high school.